Howdy folks, Frankie Day back again on YouTube. This evening on YouTube I have another collection of builds of my past. This is a 1/32 scale Vickers Vimy, made entirely out of paper. This aircraft right here has a lot of significance to it. Let me tell a little history about this aircraft before I zoom up and show the model. This is built from the publication of Paul Matt's Volume 1, World War I aircraft, and this is a Vickers Vimy. Now the Vickers Vimy came out late back in World War I. By 1918, this airplane was ready into service to answer to the English's 401 bomber, 0411 bomber they had, and there was much needed for bombing. This thing is designed as a bomber. And when 1918 came into view, this airplane right here was released to the Signal Corps. And when World War I was over with, there's no need for this airplane anymore. So a lot of them were used as surplus, and some were used mostly as trainer bombers until, as later years proceeded, actually they were stricken from the register from the Signal Corps. This airplane here has a lot of significance, fellas. Everybody out there always thought Charles Augustus Lindbergh on May 27, 1927, was the first aviator to cross nonstop from the United States all the way from Roosevelt Field to Le Bourget, France, for the RT's $25,000 prize that was offered. So this airplane actually crossed the Atlantic before Lindbergh did, at least by 8 years. By 1920, 1919, Lieutenant Alcock and Lieutenant Brown purchased a Vickers Vimy from the Signal Air Corps and converted it into a transatlantic airplane. This aircraft took off from Ireland, all of Ireland to Newfoundland, and from Newfoundland back to Ireland. So it actually never made it back to the United States. So, as history dictates, this actually was the first airplane to cross the Atlantic. And you had Alcock and Brown pilot this aircraft. This is where that aviator, that World War II aviator right there, he always has his picture taken all the time, sitting in the gunner's compartment. That was Lieutenant Brown sat there. He was more or less there as an observer, and you had Alcock, which flew the aircraft. You had two pilots on there. Alcock and Brown, they more or less sit in tandem like they are. They sat side by side. The propeller turns real good. As you can see, this thing is all rigged up by using beeswax coated on thread. Using a sewing needle, I sewed up all the rigging on there. This airplane is made completely out of card stock. All the detail lines and everything is made with a draftsman pencil, and the ribs are raised by using my method of using a straight ruler and a ballpoint pen, pressed from the inside, giving it a relief of the ribs. This airplane is in 1/32 scale, has a wingspan of 26 inches. The Vickers Vimy was a big airplane. The props are made out of cardboard, and they blow very easily. I got the fan on right there. It kind of blows a little bit, so it really goes good, ready to take off. And this was a fun airplane to build. And the Vickers Vimy was, throughout the post-World War I, they were used more or less as trainers for bomber squadrons. And by as late as 1924 or 25, I think they were actually stricken from the Signal Air Corps, and they went on to something else after that. And these airplanes today, I'm not too quite certain if any of them are around in museums. If they are, they're probably across the pond. I've never seen any in the United States yet, but it's a very unusual airplane for its time. It's the granddaddy of all bombers. And this makes a very good collection to anyone who wants to build a World War I bomber. Again, this bomber never seen combat because in 1918, when it was actually in service, the war was over with. So it happens, folks. Anyway, getting back to the kit, to the model itself, using cardstock, and I used Bristol board for ribs and wing spars, and the formers are all made out of hard Bristol board too, impregnated with acrylite glue. And I put the pilot right there where the nose gunner compartment at, and the observer compartment at there, just to show you, give you the influence how big this airplane really is in real life. The Vickers Vimy is a pretty good sized airplane. It has a wingspan of 89 feet in real length, has a cruising speed of 94 miles an hour, and the maximum ceiling is anywhere from 2,000 to 2,500 feet. And the external payload is always carried beneath the bottom of the wings. Didn't have no bay doors, so evidently this is a pretty well armed bomber for its day. And you had a Lewis gun fit in the gunner's compartment where the pilot's at, where the Navy pilot is sitting at. And seemed like he's having some fun. The rigging is very tedious, this thing, guys. All those cabin struts, interplane struts, those nacelle struts were all reinforced with 4-wire. So you're dealing with a biplane of this nature, folks, using the struts, using paper, always make sure they're reinforced with 4-wire. In other words, they'll collapse on you and all your work is wasted. So, here's the Vickers Vimy in 1/32 scale, made out of paper. And hope everybody enjoys it. I got more coming, folks. So this has been a fun build. This is one of my wife's favorites. This just came out of a box. I took it out. I'm not too sure if when I first made the video of this, I wasn't quite certain if I posted this on my earlier videos, but I just went ahead and did anyway. There's Popeye right there. Thumbs up. A-OK, and we'll zoom in one more time, folks, and close the video. Okay, folks, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and may God bless, and have a very happy Merry Christmas, and I hope Chris Kringle gives you all your plastic that you need. And so far, to my, I stand corrected, we got 4 people in, 4 folks so far in Speedy 197's group build. We got Steve across the pond, and we have the Mad Modder, Mr. Clint, back home in California. Clint, I'm from California too, buddy. I'm from Ventura. I ain't too far from where you're at. Moved to Ohio. My wife wanted to come back out here, so I sold my house out in the beach and everything, moved out here. And boy, I had second thoughts of moving out here. But I'm too dang old to move back home, so I envy you. I wish I was back home in Southern California. You're a good man, buddy. Welcome back to the build. Okay, guys, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and may God bless, and stay tuned for Speedy 197's 1960 jet and reciprocal aircraft. I got my F-4 Phantom coming up real good. Actually, both engines are warming up. This airplane's ready to take off, and so am I. And we'll catch you on the next video, folks. So stay tuned for my update video of my F-4C Phantom on Speedy 197's group build. Bye, boys. You all take care, fellas. May God bless. And we'll catch you next video. Bye, fellas. Take care, man. Take this Vimy out of here. Put it down below.